Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's video. This is extra exciting because we are in a new location. You guys, we're finally settled in. You guys can watch my moving vlog if you haven't already. That is up, and you can see all the chaos and chaoticness that happened. So we're still getting settled in, so it's a little bit messy still, but I think this is a really cool setup. This is my glamour altar, if you will, or vanity if you're a normal person. I've got Freya, my pink candle, so it's a little bit different than what we've seen before, but I'm excited about it. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the sign of Capricorn and Capricorn season. My cat's just on my altar throwing crystals off. That is so rude. But as you can tell by the title of this video, we are about to enter Capricorn season, and if you're new here, if this is your first video, I make a video every single start of each zodiac season, and it has all the information about that specific sign, where it's at astrologically, some traits of the sign, and some glamour magic, some music, and just some general rituals to help you get into that energy regardless of if you have that sign or where it's at in your chart. And I also share a bunch of good info on crystals of the season because I know we all love crystals here. So I also always like to go over why it's so important to make these videos and to watch these videos and to research the different signs and the energies, because I truly believe that as we see when Mercury is in retrograde or if it's a full moon, like we are all celestial beings, like we're all in tune with the universe, and we're all gonna have different reactions and different things happening in our life based on what's happening in the stars, and they're just influencing us. So I think that it's easier to know what kind of energies to expect, and when you look at your chart you can see where in your life these things might come up. I think it's so much better that way because then we're prepared and we're already on top of it, so we can grow from the experiences rather than feeling like experiences are happening to us. So my first task for you guys, as always, is to look at your chart. If you don't know how to do that, if this is your first time, I always like using astro.com, and basically you just go onto astro.com, find where to enter your natal chart, enter your birth date, time, and location, and it will give you this big confusing wheel. Now I will add, just a little plug, if it's too confusing, if you want to learn more, if you're interested in learning astrology for yourself, I do offer natal chart readings where I go super in depth as to everything that's happening in this little wheel and making some sense of it so that it doesn't look so terrifying and confusing. But for today's video, no worries, I'm gonna point you in the direction. So first, you're just gonna find where Capricorn is in your birth chart. Main thing to figure out is which house it's in. You can see that there are different numbers going along counterclockwise this wheel that tell you which house it is. I will also put up a little infographic, my favorite one, that tells you the energies of each house in astrology and what they mean. So if Capricorn, for example, my Capricorn is in my 10th house, which is in its home because Capricorn actually rules the 10th house. The 10th house is the house of career, public image, the limelight, being seen, hard work, putting in hard work, and all the traits. Since Capricorn rules the 10th house, it's all the traits of Capricorn. Whereas if Capricorn is in, say, your first house, this is going to be, hey, Mystery just jumped up here to say hi. This is going to be a time to really do some personal work, maybe work on your appearance if you want to change some things up, or make it a point to really give yourself some glamour magic happenings this time. So check out which house it's in for you, and that'll help you know which area of your life is going to be most in the limelight this season. The second task I have for you guys is to check out, see if you've got any planets in Capricorn. You might not, and that's totally fine, but if you do, learn about those planets being in Capricorn. What do they mean? If it's your Mercury, this is going to be a time of intense communication or thinking, and you're going to be pondering ideas or really stepping into your voice, or using communication as a means to kind of advance your career. So it's just kind of piecing all the puzzle pieces together. But check out which house it's in, if any planets are in there. And if you want to take an extra little step, check out your 10th house, see what's going on there, because Capricorn does rule that house. Even if yours is in like Pisces, Capricorn still has an influence in that little area. So now that we know like where it is for us, I'm just going to give you guys some basic information on the sign of Capricorn so that we can all get acquainted and figure out the vibe of this season. So Capricorn dates are from December 22nd to January 19th. Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's really thinking about practicality. It's concerned with material things, being grounded, being stable, and it's also a cardinal sign. So like the sign of Aries, which is a fire cardinal sign, it is a go-getter. Like it's the freaking sea goat, you guys. Like Capricorns are very much people who are in charge. They will take the lead. They don't like being bossed around because they want to boss you around a little bit. They're not afraid to get going, start new projects, do new things, but they're also, being an earth element, very grounded. So it's a really cool balance of having the ability to continue through with tasks and to be practical and be level-headed, but also have that cardinal initiation and like ambition that comes with it. Like I mentioned before, Capricorn does rule the 10th house. This is the house of career, public image. Like I said, it's going to have all the same traits as Capricorn does. And they are known as the sea goat. And this is really interesting because it takes on the energies of earth and practicality, groundedness, but also the emotions that come with the sea. So it's a really interesting duality that we see here with Capricorn, and we can talk about that a bit more in a second. But I think Capricorns are very dynamic and multi-layered. And they are ruled by the planet Saturn. So each sign is connected to a different planet. And Capricorns is Saturn, the planet of responsibility and duties and maturity. So very, very fitting, I think. A basic breakdown of Capricorn energy is that Capricorns are known for being, like I said, very practical, very organized, very responsible, and they can also be known for being workaholics because they're ruling the 10th house, very career focused, very like goal-oriented, checking off their to-do list. So they can kind of get a bad rep for being a little bit like too focused on the career element, too focused on the doing, I guess, if you will. And they are very aware of how they are being perceived, which can oftentimes cause a bit of a like emotional strain on themselves because they're constantly thinking about how they are being perceived and thinking about what energy they are giving off, how is their reputation and stuff, which obviously is like kind of a difficult thing to constantly be thinking about. I always like to mention like a couple of things, like if they're in their low vibrational state, some kind of bad habits that we know from each sign. And we kind of know that with Capricorns, if they're in a low vibrational state or kind of an unhealthy part of their life, they can be really bossy. They can also come off as condescending and kind of like a know-it-all and a little too strict with their life, which can be kind of off-putting to others. I always like to mention a color scheme because I work a lot with like Glamour Magick, Color Magic, and I'm just a very visual person. So this is just my interpretation of like what I see when I am imagining Capricorn energy. Take what I say with a grain of salt, and if in your studies you're like, man, I feel like Capricorn is blue, then that's fine. If you have that personal attachment to that color, then that is perfect and it's doing its job. But for me, I see a lot of, this might sound boring, a lot of gray and a lot of black. This like kind of white, black, gray, very structured. I guess is kind of how I view that. But I also see kind of like a cool toned green. That's just the vibe I get. That's like how I would color scheme Capricorn. I do always like to leave you guys with a bit of a thought to ponder, connecting the last sign that we experienced, which would be Sagittarius season, to the current sign that we're going into, Capricorn season, and think about the cyclical nature, think about where we're coming from and where we're going, because I do think you can use astrology and the natal chart as kind of a journey, and I think that's really beneficial in like times of self-growth and working on different areas of your life. If you're using astrology for self-growth, personal development, then I think this is a really good tool. So looking at the energies that we just had in Sagittarius season, we were very free-spirited, like hippies. We were adventurous and trying out new things and being very loose and a little wild, if you will. So we had fun in Sagittarius season. I hope you did. But now we're moving into a time to get more introspective and a little bit serious. And I think Capricorn season is at a really good time in the year, being the end of one year and the beginning of the next. It's the time when we plan our New Year's resolutions. It's the time we have Yule. It's this time where we reevaluate, which is exactly Capricorn energy. Capricorns are constantly looking at things with a very scientific eye and being like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I make this more efficient? So this is a really good time to take note of what's happening in your life. What do you like? Keep that going. If there's anything that you're not enjoying, that you're not liking, bad habits that you're wanting to break, this is the time to look those directly in the face and be like, yo, what's up? Let's fix this. So this is a perfect time to look at what's happening in your life, look at where you're trying to go, and to adapt and really get serious about specific things in your life and be a little bit more of a boss with yourself. Some Capricorn icons that we've seen in society, it's really interesting to look at them because you can see the duality of Capricorn nature. One very specific trait that I think I've seen is this darkness. And there's this quote by Ernest Hemingway, one of my faves, and he said, "Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know." Ooh-wee. So we can see this in famous Capricorns. Lots of famous Capricorns have very dark stories or really are considered intelligent people but battle with mental illness a lot. The first one that comes to mind is Edgar Allan Poe. So we all know him as this gothic storyteller who has all these like depressing stories, and he was kind of an alcoholic, and so was Hemingway, but it's this really intelligence meets darkness energy that I think is so specific to Capricorns. And we also see this with David Bowie, which is why I'm wearing this sweatshirt today, my little David Bowie sweatshirt. I was like, hey, Capricorn, what's up? So that is something we see with a lot of Capricorn people in media. We also see people who are incredibly scientific and intelligent. We've got old Bezos, we've got Stephen Hawking. But then we have people who take this Capricorn intelligence and use it for societal good. Some notable people, we got Greta Thunberg and also Martin Luther King Jr. He also, I believe, had a Pisces moon and a Taurus rising, which is very notable, I think, in his chart. But yeah, so we can see that duality of Capricorns and how they choose to, where they choose to put their intelligence and their hard working. We've got people who are very tech interested, people who are dark writers, people who are very interested in the good of others and advancing society in a very, very logical, systemic manner. Next, I want to share with you guys how to bring this Capricorn energy into your day-to-day life with some rituals, some experiments, some little fun, just date ideas. I think everybody can benefit from vibing into this season, and especially looking at where it is in your chart, like I've said before, and going with that to further these ideas. The first idea I have is kind of broad, and it's kind of a question. What area in your life needs that meticulous Capricorn energy? And what area of your life has energy gone stagnant? Where can you really like buckle down and get serious about something that maybe you've been putting off or maybe you've been slacking on. You can really use this boss bitch energy of Capricorn season to reinvigorate the life into that area and to get your stuff together and prepare for the new year. My next idea is something that I love. And this is some money or career manifestation. So Capricorns, being an earth sign, they're very driven by career, money, status, things like that. And I think that now is the time to dedicate some energy towards career manifesting or money manifesting if that's something you are interested in. I think everybody could use a little bit more money probably, and there is nothing wrong with doing some money manifestation. So this might be a good time to get some manifesting books, take a little class on manifesting, or just there's tons of videos on YouTube, honestly. I just watched one by Witch of Wonderlust, and it was about a money bowl spell that I really want to do. So tons of free info out there for you, and it is all about intention, honestly. So I wish you luck, and I hope that you manifest all the money. Similarly, and in a bit of a more practical idea, this is a great time to get your budgeting in order, especially, like I said, just being the end of the year, the start of a new year. It's a great time to look at things and figure out how you can organize better. And like I said, Capricorns are just very meticulous about money and finances, budgeting. So take advantage of that energy and really use it to your benefit and, you know, get a better budgeting system, maybe learn about investments, research crypto, invest in something, like have fun, start a savings account. Like take this time to be passionate about saving. Another idea I have for you that I think is very, very important. This is to create some energetic boundaries, okay? Take a little recap on how the past year has been, and I'm sure we've all noticed times when we've let our boundaries slip, or we could have better boundaries in certain areas of our life. Being ruled by Saturn, it's the planet of responsibility, the planet also of boundaries. So this is a really great time to get strict about your boundaries. It can be kind of weird. Some people are a little bit like they don't know how to express it. They don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But I think being in Capricorn season, we're going to have a bit more strength to be like, hey, no, that doesn't jive with me. And not really worry too much about hurting people's feelings because your boundaries are more important, if that makes sense. Sounds kind of rude, but it's not. So this is a great time to assess your boundaries and adjust where needed. Now is also a really good time to learn or do a hands-on craft project. Capricorns really like using their brains and their hands, like in motion, creating things, thinking very like strategically about how to put things together. So this is just a fun idea and an excuse to maybe take up woodworking or try something crafty. For my crystal section, I have listed some crystals that are really good for Capricorn energy, whether they radiate Capricorn energy or are really beneficial allies to the Capricorn energy that we have. These are some of the best crystals to meditate with, have with you. If you don't want to go out and buy a crystal, you can just like save a picture of one on your phone and meditate on that energy or call upon that energy with your intention. So the first crystal, and one that I recommend like literally all the time, so I kind of feel bad, but I don't feel bad because it's a really good crystal to have, is smoky quartz. One of my favorites. A great crystal because it's grounding, it gives you strength, and most of all, it helps with dealing with depression, anxiety, I don't know like the right word, just like lots of like bad brain vibes, you know what I mean? We get it, I get it. And because of that, I think smoky quartz is a great crystal to have around because whenever I see it, I'm like, ooh, draw away all my sadness, take the sadness away. And so I love smoky quartz. I recommend it for so many people because it's such a good staple crystal to have. So good. Grounds you, gives you strength, takes away the bad brain stuff, and you're good. The next one is garnet. This is a birthstone for Capricorns, and so this is going to have that pure Capricorn energy. It's just going to radiate that. So if you're wanting to get more in tune with Capricorn energy, that's a really good crystal to have. Next crystal is jet, and this draws out dense energy. So similar to smoky quartz, but this is going to really target that stagnant, heavy, like you're really just in a rut. This is gonna really draw that energy out, make way for some great changes in your life, and inspire you to reinvent yourself and start anew this new year season. Lastly, a crystal that I think is very beneficial for Capricorn energy is tiger's eye. This is solar plexus, sacral chakra, all that goodness energy. So this is going to inspire creativity, inspire some play, get Capricorns out of their very, not closed-minded. I don't want to say closed-minded, but do you know what I mean? Like they're very laser focused on this is how it's going to be done. Gets them out of that. If you're feeling like, ooh, I'm a little overwhelmed with this Capricorn energy telling me to do things this specific way, I want to change it up. I want to go crazy. Tiger's eye. It's going to bring in that Leo playfulness and that creativity. As you guys know, I always throw in here a little playlist based on the energies of the season. So Capricorn season's a fun, interesting vibe to put into music. Feels a little hard to do. So check it out if you're trying to feel that energy a bit more. My energy changes drastically when I'm listening to music. So whenever I'm trying to embody a certain energy or archetype, I listen to music. So here you go. Also, every zodiac season, I meet with my Patreon book club and we read a book together and then talk about it. And it's always chosen based on the energies of that season. So for Capricorn season, we've got The Witch's Book of Potions, which looks like I've read it. I haven't. That's the receipt. I actually bought this a couple months ago. This is by Michael Fury, and this might be like a little surprising because like, is that Capricorn energy? The vibe, when I always post like a poll and you guys vote on it, and I was like, this is that working with your hands, getting kind of sciencey, meticulous, and creating something. So this is definitely like using that craftier creation energy of Capricorn season, which I think is really exciting. And I think I might try to like one of our live meetings, do like a live potion brewing and see. I'm not a kitchen witch and I'm not very good in the kitchen, so we'll see how that goes. But if you want to join in on this book club, we will be starting first week of Capricorn season. Just join the $10 tier or higher and you will get access to it. Can't wait to see you guys there. And my last section of tips and energy tricks for Capricorn season is my section on Glamour Magick. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. When I was typing up my outline and thinking about what is Capricorn Glamour Magick, I was kind of having a hard time because I don't view Capricorns as glamorous. And so I was trying to go outside of the box and think more about what is glamour magic that's not glamorous per se, and what are the energies of Capricorn season. All that to say, some tips that I conjured up. I think using darkness to your advantage, whether it be dark eyeliner, some black lipstick, dark jewelry, in a protective sense, I think that's very in line with Capricorn energy, using it as grounding and almost like proclaiming your power, if that makes sense. I associate the color black with power, protection, and bad bitch energy. I will link below my Glamour Magick video, makeup video, on makeup that's bold and dark for bad bitch energy. I just think that's very Capricorn. And also, I think now is a great time to invoke a piece of jewelry with this CEO boss bitch energy. Choose a necklace or a ring or something to be this talisman that whenever you wear it, it reminds you of your power. We're just going to have a lot of this power energy be very high and very accessible this season. So really take advantage of that. I have this necklace that I got in my Wolf and Time box, and it's a crow with a rose. And to me, this is just a real good combination of beauty and power and mysticism. And I think I am going to enchant my little necklace with some boss bitch energy. And you can literally do this so simply by just creating a sacred space, having your candles lit, light some incense that invokes the feeling of whatever you're trying to do. If you want to do some beauty or love, do jasmine. If you want some cleansing and renewal, maybe do some frankincense. Just based on whatever energy you really feel connects to your boss. And really just meditate with it. Build up your energy and just focus your intention. You can make it as elaborate or as casual as you need. I think a lot of the times we get very caught up in like the smoke and mirrors of spells and rituals, when in reality it is all down to your intention. And if your intention's there and you can focus that intention and really endow that talisman with that energy, then you're good. You don't need to go out and buy frankincense or buy, whatever to do that. You have all the energy. Witches have been doing this for centuries, long before there were metaphysical shops, so you're all good. But that is all for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm excited to be in this new space and be back doing videos. It feels really good, and yeah, I'm excited for the new year and for all the fun things coming. I have so many things on my list of fun things to do. But I'm wishing you all an amazing Capricorn season. I wish you all the best. Happy Yule, and I will see you all next time. Bye!